must find the gate. A hidden path. Take it?
Yeah! Take it!
It's dark. Dank.
Hey guys, we are live. I've got to put my microphone and I'm here talking away and I'm like, wow, I haven't put my mic on, and that's what happens when you are rushing the stream. So this is a random one. It's a Sunday morning stream. I've got to take the wife out for lunch, courtesy of a friend of mine. He owns a restaurant, and after that I've got a meeting with my cousin where I have to go through some work with him. So I was like, the only chance I've got to actually do some recreational streaming today is actually early in the morning. But I do like doing these early morning streams, and I'll tell you why. Because I try and do mine prime time, like afternoon or early evening, but I realize there's different time zones, and sometimes I've done a stream like very early in the morning, or like, you know, like just before the afternoon over here, and people are like, wow, we always try and catch your streams, but it's the middle of the night for us. So as it stands now, a live stream it's pretty much doable at any time. So this game here, I think it's called Three Dirty Dwarves. I was looking for this for some time, and fortunately I found it. Now it's supposed to be a brawler. This is something that a friend of mine, Andy D, recommended like some time back, and I always wanted to check it out. Just kind of glad to get it now. This is so I've added some people that kind of support the channel here or help me. So obviously I've got support the developer up there. I've got my Patreon link, and as well as that I've got like Free Play City and MiSTer add-ons. So this is, you know, I've marked it as a sponsored video. But guys, I hope everyone's having a good Sunday morning or Saturday night or Sunday evening, depending on where you are. So let's go and play this game here. So this is Three Dirty Dwarves. I'll show you the game here. There you go. Three Dirty Dwarves. The previous version I had didn't actually work, so this one I'm really glad is showing up as working. So let's run with this. And guys, you can see on there now, Free Play City, London's best arcade. I've got them as a kind of sponsor where I got in touch with them and I said, look, if I give you a plug, can I get free admission? Because I do like giving them free plugs on the channel anyway. But I thought, you know what, let me try and get something out of it. And it's not really a money deal. It is simply just me getting free admission. So if I do want to go there, I end up going there twice a year or whatever, but I'm quite happy to show their banner once in a while on the channel because I really do like arcades. I believe in the cause. That's quite funny. I like arcades in general, you know. I grew up playing games in the arcades, and it's always been like a very special place to me. And this is the closest one. It's like a 10-minute drive from my house. Okay, so it's like one hit and you're dead, but there's three of you. Interesting game. I know a lot of people have spoken about this game. It's not something this is the first time I am playing it. So let's give it a continue. So yeah, Free Play City, guys. It's in North London. Closest tube station is Manor House. I don't know why part of the screen's missing. That's bizarre. That shouldn't be missing. I'm pretty sure I've got the full screen, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Yeah, I have got the full screen. Weird there. Yeah, so like I said, I grew up playing games in the arcade, and Free Play City it's a really good arcade. And in particular, like now when I go arcade, I like to play fighters above and beyond anything else. So stuff like Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I like my go-to games. I'm definitely more of a Capcom guy than a SNK guy. Although I do like some of the SNK games, it's just that I don't know them at a kind of advanced level. So yeah, I like to go there and play. But what I do like to do, I like taking my boys there as well, and they like playing like the light gun games. They've got stuff like Outrun there, like a few racing games. I think they've got like Initial D there as well. So it's a good kind of place to hang out. Sorry, I'm looking at the stats, then I lose a life. So yeah, it's a good place to hang out, man. So I'm gonna try and go there next weekend. Oh wow, okay, that's definitely part of the stream. Definitely feels like it's kind of missing here. So that's weird. All right, let's run another game. Let's we got Twin B Time Attack. Don't know what this is. Yo, Avenge Blue Collar Dude, Colorado checking in. Love content. Keep grinding. Yo, dude, thank you so much, man. Colorado in the house. So yeah, guys. Yeah, this stream here. It's just a chill out stream. I wanted to play more of the Saturn stuff. So we're using like the dual RAM version of the Sega Saturn, which has a specific advantage when you're using dual RAM. Oh, okay, this is kind of nice. Bells and whistles, baby. Yeah, so it has a specific advantage when it comes to fighters, 3D fighters in general. And when I did like the last stream, I made a mistake. I was running the single RAM version. I wanted to change color. Never mind. Ah, here we go. Ah, man, missed it. Okay, this is a fun little game, man, and there's a lot of good shmups on the Saturn, and I think that's why I love it so much, because of my love for arcade games and the amount of great arcade ports on the Sega Saturn. Just make it like that console you want to play. I mean, look at that. That's just Konami goodness there, you know. You shoot the top off, and you've got this, I don't know, this cutie kind of thing in there, and yeah. It's funny. Guys, if you've got any requests, I've got quite a bundle of Saturn games on here. If you've got any requests you want to see, we can go ahead and do those requests. It's not an issue at all. Okay, so I can fire, it's fire, which is always interesting in a shmup. I don't really have to move, I can just, here we go, okay. Okay, so just negate their fire with your own fire. Oh, okay, you can fire down as well. Never a fan of the second button, you know. Hate spamming 2 buttons in shmups. Right, let's run something else. That's a good game. Love that pause sound that's there as well. Let's go Virtua Fighter 2. Actually, let's make sure I am running the right version of the core. Here we go. So I'm running a Sega Saturn dual SD RAM, and it's the core that was released on the 6th of November, which was 4 days ago, because we are currently on the 10th of November. Wow, guys, tell you one thing. How quick has the year gone? I remember it being January just very, very recently, and all of a sudden we're in like November. What is it? The older you get, the quicker time goes. It's amazing. Let's go watch mode so we can chill a bit and just kind of let it play. So let's go. Okay, so the computer selects its own character. Oh, okay, it selected the characters by itself. I kind of had no choice on that, and that's really interesting. I like these quality of life features in games, and I wouldn't have thought that previous games around the Saturn era would have had something like watch mode. I'm just going to put the sound down because I can hear, and it's the same issue that I had last time, and other people are not having this issue, and this is one of the things with this core. So the previous version of the core, which was, let's have a look at it. So I've got it on here still, which was from the 30th. So 6 days later, this core was updated. However, I want to turn it up just for a second so you can hear that clicking sound. Right, that kind of clickety click, 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 click sound. A lot of people didn't get that because people on Discord after said, I got that sound and they didn't get that sound. So I can't, yeah, and this happened for me on my single, when I ran the single SD RAM version of the core and the dual SD RAM version of the core on a dual RAM MiSTer FPGA unit. So don't know why this is. All this stuff does get combed out. SRG 320 is very, very good at getting rid of bugs and really, really pushing the MiSTer FPGA to its limit. The MiSTer is just such a darn fantastic machine, man. And it looks like having a dual RAM version of the MiSTer is actually a viable option now, and it looks like it's only going to become more viable as time progresses, just for the Sega Saturn core. Like if you're a big fan of the Sega Saturn, especially if you're into like these fighters and they look and play really, really well, you shouldn't really be getting slowed down. Let's run another game. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so it's only during the game, the actual gameplay that happens. Okay, that's interesting. I do like the watch mode in this. I imagine you can leave it running for a bit. Let's see if the sound comes back. Okay, that sound has now gone. Let me turn it up a bit. That's really weird. Okay, so it was there in the first game, but it isn't there in the second game now. However, look how, if we go back to some of my like old Saturn videos, I remember how VF was running. It was running very, very slow. There were like a few graphics out of place, if I remember correctly, and it's just come such a long way, such a darn long way. Anyway, guys, I hope everyone's having a good Sunday morning. It is for me over here. It's exactly 11 minutes past 9 on a Sunday morning for me. I thought I'd do an early morning one. If it's late night for you, I don't know, early evening, wherever you are in the world, let me know where you are in the world. I always like it when you give us a location check. I know we've got Colorado in the house, so that's awesome. Let's run another fighter. Let's go to, as I like to call it, Doha. Doa, dead or alive. Okay, dead or alive. And it'll be interesting if this has got a watch mode as well, because I really do like watch mode, especially when you're doing videos and you're streaming. You can just kind of run it and it will just run it for you. It will run a game for you. I get a feeling Dead or Alive isn't going to be as innovative, but that was a great feature to see in VF, man. Yo, Alan in the house. How you doing, man? Good morning to you. Al, I've got to take the family out for a meal to my friend's restaurant. My friend kept saying, look, when can you come over? When can you come over? And I was like, look, man, I've kind of got my mum on the weekends. It's a bit difficult to get out, but my mum's brother, my uncle's taking her for a few hours, so I'm going to pop out restaurant, and then I've got a meeting later with my cousin to go through some stuff with him. But the stuff I've got to go through with my cousin, hopefully it's the final day today. If not, there'll be some finishing touches next weekend, and then hopefully my weekends will be a bit more free. And here we've got a game that I like to call Doa, but most people like to say it fully, Dead or Alive. And these FMVs, man, I've always liked them. Whenever I've had like a new console and I used to see these, it always just pleased me. It just always looks nice. We don't really appreciate these days because we've got crazy visuals. We can run videos in there. But back in the 8-bit days, the 16-bit days, the 32-bit days, and even like the 64-bit days, and dare I even say like the 128-bit days, like the Dreamcast era, the PlayStation era, it was a pleasure to watch these kind of FMVs and intros. They just felt really special. And going back like a lot, I remember when you're kids and you're playing those 8-bit games and those 16-bit games, the whole idea was to see the end screen. You're like, I clocked it, even though it wasn't, you completed the game. And when you saw that end screen, you're like, I saw the end screen. So has it got, okay, so what's Kamute? Kamute is where you just keep fighting. So let's go Kamute. And try that out. I was hoping there was a watch mode in there, but there's not a watch mode in there, but we'll try Kamute, why not? Jamie C in the house, how you doing, man? Night shift guy from Scotland. Wow, I was about to crash out, mate, but this has got me back into red. Wicked, Jamie. You know what, I don't envy night shifts, man. I used to do a lot of night shifts, man. I've done them for like a good 12 years. Wow, Kamute persons. We'll go with 100. We'll definitely bail out. See, I've done night shifts for a long time, but I tell you what, going back to that Monday to Friday routine, I really do like it. Like I'm very kind of happy with it. I do miss some of the elements of shift. Like for example, now I've got a dental appointment on the 20th of this month, but I can't just, for example, initially when I booked it, it was one of my days off from when I did shift. So, now I've had to take a day annual leave to take me and the entire family to the dentist. It's actually my first day of annual leave at the new job. I kind of told them, look, I've got a few appointments. But yes, it just means all that Monday to Friday stuff, you have to kind of take a day of annual leave. Unfortunately, where I work, it's a small operation. So, whereas my previous job, it was a big operation. If I had an appointment that did fall on a working day, I could pop out and, come back in. I didn't even have to make up the time, to be honest. But in my new job, if I go, I kind of need to be replaced in what I'm doing. It's a small team, so it's a little bit difficult. I mean, if I was away for maybe a couple of hours, it might be all right. If I was away for 3-4, it takes a little bit longer. But yeah, there's elements of shift that I definitely miss. And when I got my days off, I'd get like a longer bunch of days off. I'd get like 4 days off and whatnot. So yeah, I definitely missed that. But however, I do like the Monday to Friday thing. I like the routine of like previously when I was on shift. One of my weekly news videos was done on a Thursday, one was done on a Friday, and one was done on a Saturday. Now I can just do it every Saturday morning. Friday nights I'm a bit tired, I don't want to do it, but I just end up doing all the weekly news videos Saturday morning. That's why a lot of them come out later than sometimes when I used to try and have them out for 1 p.m. Now they're just ready when they're ready. But yeah, I definitely miss aspects of shift, but I'm kind of happy to go Monday to Friday. But it's different stuff. I don't miss nights though, man. I started feeling like a crackhead after night shift, after like doing too many nights. That's one of the reasons I gave up, and I think that's just with age. Getting to like my mid 40s. Whereas when I was doing it when I was in my early 30s, it wasn't really much of an issue. Guys, if you've got any requests you want to see, just fire up in block capitals. Usual rules apply, and we can run that. So I do want to check some of these Capcom ones because I'm just such a Capcom fanboy, man. Someone shoot me in the head. I just love Capcom. I always have. I think they're my favorite video game company. Games like Resident Evil, the DMC series, Onimusha. Obviously, Monster Hunter being the biggest one, Street Fighter being massive. I'm a big Capcom fanboy, man, and even when I was younger, when we look at the heritage games, CPS1, CPS2, even before CPS1, there was a lot of games that I so love, and it is because of Capcom. Capcom are damn amazing, man, and it's nice even to get their compilations. So yeah, man, Sega Sturn Core, like awesome. If anyone's got a dual RAM setup, like you guys want to make sure you're grabbing the unstable, because this won't be available via update tool. You need to go to the MiSTer FPGA Discord. That's the easiest place to get it, because there's compiled versions of the core there available for you to grab the latest version of it. And grab the latest version of the core. If you've got dual RAM, grab the dual RAM version, add it to your MiSTer, add the latest unstable version of the MiSTer OS. It's very easy to do, honestly. Like, it's simple. I'm not a tech whiz, so if I can do it, honestly, anyone can do it. And play like the latest versions of the Saturn Core, which are just fantastic. So in the meantime, let's go title select. It's got the 19. I'm gonna go for the latest one in here. I did like this on the Commodore 64, but I never really played this. Yo, Spider-Man TV requests Virtua Cop. Reason I like it, but also one of the first games with a new 3D engine, possibly stressful on hardware. Yeah, no worries, man. We can do a Virtua Fighter. No problem. We can do that. Okay, this is nice. I like it. I like it when you've got a game like this, and you know, it's essentially a Tate mode game, but if you're playing it on your normal TV without rotating it or having that Tate option, it's nice to have a little bit of a, like we've got the arcade flyer there, very kind of not looking very clear, but it's nice to have that. But I guess this was meant to be played on a CRT, so it would have been kind of different. So is the second button, is this the one where you do a loop? Yeah, you do a loop. Okay. Was this also known as the Loop Master? This is a you know, the 1940 whatever 2X games. They're good games, man. I know Hotego really likes these games. I can't remember which one it is. It's probably one of the earlier ones, because another favorite of Hotego is actually what is it? Ghosts and Goblins. Not Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghosts and Goblins. And guys, that is a tough ass game, man. Okay, let's run with your game now, which was Virtua Cop. Absolutely. So Virtua Cop, was it Virtua Cop 1 or 2? Let's have another look. Virtua Cop, okay, cool. I imagine, going by like Virtua Cop being a later title, I imagine Virtua Cop 2 might be a little bit more strenuous on the hardware, but that's not always the case. Sometimes the first game can be a bit more strenuous. Hopefully, like on the right hand side where I've got like where you can see now support the developer, you know, SRG 320. I've put like a bunch of images there, and I think some of the images are smaller. They're not all uniform. And you're going to see writing go up top. And I've got to give Free Play City, man, and my local arcade a plug, because I reached out to them and I was like, look, if I give you a plug, can I get free admission? You know, I'm not going to abuse it. I go there a couple of times a year, but if I do go there with some friends, it'll be nice just to kind of pop in, save on the admission fee, and at the same time, Free Play City get a plug on the channel. I've plugged them on the channel like as a freebie anyway, because when they've got events like Street Fighter 3, Third Strike events, so if they're doing something, I'll always mention it on there. It's a great place. I really like it. And honestly, if I wasn't doing my channel, I'd be going there a lot more, playing competitive Street Fighter 3 Third Strike and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. There's a really good Third Strike scene there. So if anyone's London or local to London, if you go there on Saturday, most Saturdays the Third Strike guys are there. And you've got some really good competition. There's a guy called Tamraz, a player called Tamraz. He's currently, I would say, one of the ambassadors of the UK events. And he's always up there. Very friendly guys. You know, sometimes I remember there was a time in the arcade where there was a lot of snobbery. You know, people like, I'm better than your crap. All that crap's gone now. I mean, it was around, but there's always been good people in the arcade. But there were elements where, you know, it was like and rivalries and beef started. Now it's just very mellow. Like, so even if you're new to the game, let's say you're playing on Fightcade and that's where you enjoy playing your stuff, you can go over to Free Play City and just go chat, be like, hey guys, I'm here to play. Guys are super friendly, man. Big shout out to Jazzarino. Jazzarino's one of the younger players as well. I was there, I was one of the older guys. Very respectful guy, very respectful. Got to give a shout out to it's mainly Tamraz that I kind of speak to. So when I go down there, I usually send him a text saying, look, are you down there? So I know I've got competition. I wish if my buddy Harmonaz was near me, because he'd kind of incentivized me to go there, but he just lives really far away now, man. Harmonaz, I wish if you're a little bit closer to me, you know, so we could frequent Free Play City a little bit more. I got the original to see this. Oh, wicked, man. Yeah, I know Alan D's a guy with hardware, man. Wicked. And Alan, thanks always, man, for helping, helping out with the channel. Just being awesome in general, right? What's the reload button?
Reload.
Why can't I find the darn reload button, man? What the heck?
Reload.
Oh, okay, it's C. Right. What? Okay. I don't know what's going on here. Have I changed the button somewhat somewhere? Okay, no, it is C. You know what? I have to say, these are fun. Why isn't it? Okay, that's really bizarre.
Reload.
Okay. Okay. I'm sitting very close. I am using a wireless controller, the 8-bit M30. What I don't understand is the reload doesn't seem to be super responsive. And I made sure the controller was charged as well. I've got that new Ultimate USB-C controller as well, one that's Bluetooth and RF, and I haven't even opened it yet. I was hoping to do like a review video, but yeah, I think I'm going to pass that now. Just don't have the time. And one of my kids' Xbox controllers got drift, man. My kids keep getting drift in their controllers, man. I don't know what they do. I think they're just messy when they play and whatnot. Okay, this is such a fun game, man. Even on even playing this on controller, it's a lot of fun. It's nice. We shoot him in the leg, the kind of reaction you get. Okay, interesting. Let's go VF2. I don't know what's going on here. I feel like reload isn't working in the first instance. Best on a CRT and a gun, yeah, man. Aiming off script. Oh, reloaded the pain. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. Just kind of whack it on the side and aim it. You know, that was one of the fun things, and that's why I really like. That's why I like arcades when I take the kids there. It's the light gun games, and I don't let them play stuff like Rambo, man. They were playing Rambo. They were the modern ones that are with a LCD. I don't think they've got any of the CRT based. At least in the arcade Free Play City, I don't think they've got any of the CRT based light gun games. Right? Okay, I need to see in the top right. I need to make everything I use in that kind of slide a uniform size, because you're going to see part of the speech on the back on some of the smaller ones. So maybe I can just get rid of my logo from my one, and I think it's probably my one that's posing the biggest problem. So we're a beginner again on number 2. Now hopefully the reload button is more responsive here. I don't know why. I think the controller's all right because it's kind of yeah, I'm very, very close to it. I mean, you know, I'm even less distance than what a small wire would be. Okay, it's responsive on here. I don't know why it wasn't responsive on here. That was really, really weird. Look, every time I press reload, it just works. Yeah, on that one, it wasn't working. So it's not a controller. I don't know what that was. That was bizarre. I don't know if that's an issue with the core. I don't know what to say. But C wasn't working. Interesting. I like this game, man. I'm the kid that completed Operation Wolf on my Commodore 64 on a joystick, man. Like, honestly, it was one of my proudest achievements. I really liked Operation Wolf. I used to play it on the ST with my uncle on the mouse, and I feel like light gun games on a mouse, they play really, really well. It's a good way of playing them if you don't have a light gun. I remember playing the game that Video Game Esoterica preserved. It was the Castlevania, the arcade game. And being a big Castlevania fan, I wanted to check that out, and that was actually fun to play on a mouse. Using a mouse to play it, I definitely thought it was a lot of fun. Yeah, so hey guys, good morning. If you're just joining in, wicked. It's like, you know, just after 9 o'clock, whatever it is, 9:20, 9:25 in the UK. Wherever you are around the world, if you don't usually catch the streams, then you know what, freaking awesome. Good to have you here. I hope in your time zone things are good, whether you're ahead of me, whether you're behind me, wherever you are. Let's have a look at some other games on the CRT. Okay, thanks, man. I'm not doing amazingly well. I end up just chatting. Streams are more about the fun than the actual comp of the gameplay. Do you still have that massive Sega arcade in London? No, that's gone. So there was a few of them, wasn't there? So there was one in Wood Green, North London, which isn't too far from me where I live now. It was far where I lived at the time because I kind of grew up in Islington. It wasn't too far actually, even back then. So there was a Namco World in central London. But yeah, the Sega one's gone, and I think there was one in like Tottenham Hale as well. So we did have like a few arcades. Now the only arcade is, or the best arcade in London, guys, is Free Play City. There's another one. There's one called Heart of Gaming as well. But that was good at one point. But I personally feel that Free Play City is better. And Free Play City for me as well, because it's closer, and I'm glad that one is better. I think last I heard, Heart of Gaming, they started using like a lot of laggy LCD screens. I haven't been there. This is just a friend that went there last time. They said they were disappointed with what they had, and hopefully, well, at least when I play the fighters in Free Play City, they are on CRTs. They're on original. They're on like original CRT. They're on Versus City cabs. They're fantastic. It's fantastic playing on those. So they've got Capcom versus SNK2 there. So hopefully I'll go there. Yo, sorry, I just see Playo, Trocadero went years ago, man. Oh, is that the one that was mentioned? So yeah, Trocadero was wicked, man. I like that a lot. There was a lot of good arcade games there, but I only ever went to when you kind of went up the escalator, and I think it was up like one escalator, and you could go to, they'd have all the fighting games there. So they had like Third Strike there, they had Alpha there, but when I went there, Third Strike is what was popular. They had two of those machines there. And Friday nights, man, competition was rampant in there. You had like best UK players there. You had like Ryan Hart, Dukas, Peaceman. You had Chunkis, the Chef, the HY. You had a whole bunch of players. What was really good is when you had someone come from abroad. So if you had like a top European player come in, I mean, there was a time where the first winner of SBO, if anyone knows fighting games out there, Super Battle Opera, he came over, a guy called Izu. So he actually ended up staying around my friend Harmonaz's house. So we got to play him like a fair bit in sessions, man. And yeah, the guy was a beast, man. But I managed to get like, I did get some wins on the guy at the time. I was actually all right back then. Not his level, but I was getting some wins. But I remember one time I done the same 3 moves in a row to get a win, and he just didn't expect me to do the same 3 moves. And I still remember the move. I was playing Chun-Li. I was playing very scrubby. I think he was using Makoto, which was his main. And I'd done 3 EX spinning bird kicks in a row, and the third one got him and killed him. It's like he'd done it once, he did it twice, and how, you know, he's surely not going to do it a third time. You know, don't call me Shirley. And I did do it a third time. So this is X-Men versus Street Fighter. Now, guys, honestly, when it comes to like the CPS1 and the CPS2 games that are available for different consoles, there is absolutely no reason. There's no reason to play them on the Sega Saturn Core. I think what someone said, I remember Saber SRK, also a very, very good Street Fighter player. I speak to him over on Twitter. He was saying that what he preferred about like the Saturn version is when you're playing multiplayer, you don't have to go through the whole here comes a new challenger and that kind of sequence again. You know, you win, you play, goes to character, you select it, and it makes that process of when you're having a session and you're playing each other again and again and again, it just makes it a lot quicker to get back to that state. Wicked, that was Sega World. Oh shit, yeah, I put 101 together. Yeah, 101 together, that's for quick maths, MAFS. So this is, I've never really got to grips with the superhero games, but I know this was one of the games when we were doing test videos, when I was doing test videos on the channel, what was happening was this is one of the games that kept crashing. It would crash at the handshake. Then we got past the handshake, we got a little bit further into the game, and it started happening. Let's just be boring. So I'll pick one from here, and I'm not going to go Wolverine because everyone always picks Wolverine out of. Okay, let's go Rogue, man. Rogue's always been kind of hot. Don't let her touch you though. 94, 95. Yeah, back then, man, stuff was mode select normal. Okay, cool. I should have gone turbos. I'm always scared about that easy control scheme. You know, there's a control scheme where you tap the button twice and it does a special. Not something I like using. I was actually trying to play Street Fighter on a handheld, and I was like, you know what, let me try and do easy. You know, the modern control scheme, but I can't do it. No idea how. Oh, this is too slow. Maybe it's better for me. Okay. Love the air supers. Take that. Let me tag in. Wow, that is so slow. Look at how hard. Wow, that is a very slow move. Nice, interesting. Like, these games have crazy combos like Influence in there. Don't expect me to do any of them. I'm happy getting a free hit combo in this. Nice. The kiss of death. Very, very comic book. I like the transition. You know when you beat a character and how it all kind of changes. Ah. Okay. Okay, cool. Right, I'm not gonna do these fights. Saturn Street Fighter Zero pre-port was still good to play for the reverse dramatic mode. Let's put on Street Fighter Alpha 3 because I do like that. I do like the Street Fighter Alpha games. Here we go, 03. Excellent. Hey, everyone's doing here. We're getting more people coming in, man. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday or late Saturday night or late Sunday evening, whatever time zone you're in, man. For me, it's early morning. I've got till, you know, maybe around 11 o'clock over here, so roughly about an hour and a half or a little bit under just to go, and I'm kind of jiggy with that. And then it's out for a meal and there's some work to do, right? I need to make a better overlay, man. You can see some of the text on there. Okay, you can see Alan Saturn Mouse works. Yeah, oh yeah, I just spotted that, Alan. Yeah, wicked. I heard it works. I'll have to. Yeah, I could play that a specific way essentially, but yeah, I haven't bothered, to be honest. Call me lazy or call me Shirley. Right, okay, let's go to, what is it, reverse dramatic battle you said, yeah? Okay, okay, what's final battle? I don't even know what final battle is. Let's go final battle. I can't remember all these modes. 4:30 a.m. here. Wow, man, dude, you're either up very early or you're just one of them guys that goes to bed really, really late. But 4:30 a.m. darn, man, that's pretty hardcore. Oh, okay, so this is just the final battle against Dictator. I like using those terms, Dictator, because everyone knows what they are. You know, Dictator is always going to be Bison, but he's called Vega in the Japanese version, and you know, Balrog is M. Bison. Sagat will always be Sagat, and Vega is also known as Balrog. Oh wow, nice teleport. And I got beat by the Dictator. This feels good though, I have to say. You know, I'm not an expert on this game, but it feels as good as the arcade. I'm sure there'll be differences, you know, because there's, like, I'm not at the level where I can feel inaccuracies with stuff. So what we're looking forward to next year is that Capcom versus SNK 2 collection. Really, there's another collection coming out with CVS2, CVS1, CVS2, and some other fighting games on there. Really, really looking forward to that. Okay, and that is a loss, a big L. Right, what we got here? Let's run a 3D fighting game, because so we've done Dead or Alive, we've done Virtua Fighter. Let's go Fighters Megamix. Apparently that's one of the games that slows down, and there's another one as well. I forget what it's called now. So there's Fighters Megamix. It's one of them funky ones, Sega only kind of arcade brawlers. Right, let's reset. That's something, sometimes when you launch a game, it needs like a reset after. There's something that's always happened on this core. I mean, it's not a major issue. Once you know it, you kind of know it. Oh, Fighting Vipers, that's it. Fighters Megamix and Fighting Vipers. So this is interesting. I think obviously you need to unlock the characters in this. But I mean, let me know what you guys think, but I personally feel like the Saturn does a better job when it comes to fighters, when it comes to 3D fighters especially, or even 2D fighters. I feel like the Saturn has done a better job than the PlayStation. Even though the PlayStation was more popular, there was a lot more games out for it. I definitely feel like the Saturn had the edge when it comes to fighting games, and that's just my experience even playing this core, because I haven't really played a Saturn. So I can imagine if a Saturn was around and I was around playing here, I might have been like, wow, okay, this stuff's really, really good. Okay, so there's no viewing mode in here, so we'll just go to one player mode and just see how it goes. Okay, there's still a decent amount of characters at the beginning, but no car. Okay, I don't know what to be. Let's be a Raxel. Is that like Axel from Guns N' Roses with an R at front, right? Raxel Rose.
Fight. Ready, go.
See, fighting games really come alive like when you play multiplayer. When you play 2-player on them, that is when these things just really do come alive. I never used to like playing fighters. When I was a kid, I liked playing fighters against the CPU, but naturally the human competition was where it was at. And then when I got older, I just wanted to play humans. It was either training mode or play another person, never actually the 1-player mode. And then where I've gotten older now, like I've enjoyed playing stuff against the CPU. Like I actually like playing Ultra. I know no one likes it. Ultra Street Fighter 2 on the Nintendo Switch with a Hori left Joy-Con, of course, and I do enjoy playing that. I do find it to be fun, but just against the CPU, I don't think I'd ever want to play another human at that game. To be honest, I'm not sure if I'd be able to find another human that would want to play the game. Guys, should we do like a little bit of an experiment here? So let's now go. We're going to try something. So this game here, Fighters Megamix. Let's pick the same character now, but what I want to do is I want to run the single RAM version of the core of the same date. And I just want to see if there's any slowdown in this game. Let's have a look. So guys, now we're running a single RAM version of this core. So what was that one? Here we go. Oh yeah, Fighters Megamix, right? Fighters Megamix, right. Hopefully it wasn't, yeah, I'm sure it's Fighters Megamix and not Fighting Vipers. Don't want to get confused here. So we're running the single RAM version of the core. I know the title says dual RAM, but I'm curious if I pick the same character and I've got the single RAM version of the core running now. Let's have a look and see if there's any slowdown now. That's going to be interesting. I wanted to do a side by side, but I didn't have time to set it all up, and I was like, okay, let me just roll with this. So let's go 1-player mode exactly the same way. We're going to pick Raxel again. And we're going to pick Corsair, and let's see if there's any slowdown. So let's see if there's any slowdown in the gameplay. It's not. This isn't an accurate way of testing it, but it is. Let's see if there's any slowdown in there. Now the MiSTer is a dual RAM one, but it's only using 1 stick of RAM. Is it slowed down, you guys? Okay, so guys, that is slower, isn't it? Am I just imagining it? Is it? Yeah, it's definitely slower. So look, on single SD RAM, this core is slower. we'll go through, I'll press some buttons, and then we'll run the same game on a dual SD RAM. So, you know, for anyone out there, look, if you guys have got, if you're only using a HDMI display like me, then it kind of makes sense to have a dual SD RAM version. If you're outputting to analog, and you know, let's say you like playing on an analog and you want to put that to HDMI at the same time, then you know, I get it. I get it. If I had a CRT, I'd you know, I've got a few MiSTers, so I'd have one on the CRT, but the Saturn one, especially for fighters, if I was playing them, I'd want to play them on dual SD RAM. But guys, this is straight out slower, guys. Yeah, it's straight out slower. Cola, I don't think we're gonna get DS. The developer of the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64 core, Robert Pape, you know, guy is amazing. He's, you know, he's referred to as a wizard when it comes to core development, and he says, I'm pretty sure he said it's not possible on the MiSTer. So it's likely not going to happen. But I mean, to be honest, when it comes to DS is a handheld, and you can still pick them up fairly cheap. So I really like playing my DS on my, I use like, I've got a DS Lite, I've got a DSi XL, I've got a few 3DSs around the house. So I've got different ways of playing it. Right, guys, let's go back to the dual RAM version of the core. So 0606. And we're going to run Fighting Vipers again. Yo, Concave Gaming, man. I'm glad you're here, man. I was like, oh, you're one of the people I had in mind when I was doing this earlier stream. So let's have a look at this. So let's go back to Fighting Vipers. Fighting Vipers. Guys, there's noticeable slowdown on the single SD RAM version of the core. We've just had a look at that. It just, you can see that it has, it is slowing down. There's no ifs or buts about it. That was apparent. Like, you know, I don't think it was placebo. Like oops, I put on the wrong game. I'm going to put on Fighters Megamix, pardon me. Games are too close. We will check Fighting Vipers after. They should be. I don't think I've got anything set to 50 Hertz, Alan, but we can go back in and check. CPS 3, I really hope Protego, you know, gets like some type of implementation. Hopefully it's something. There's a lot of talk about it and how it can't fit on the MiSTer, but then there's also a lot of hate against the MiSTer. There's a lot of, you know, opinions that are biased towards something else that will literally crap on the MiSTer. So I'm not quite sure until someone I actually trust says, you know, it's not doable, even if it involves having tricks, you know, to get it working. Cool. Until then, you know, because like people said this core that we're playing now is impossible. People have said the N64 was impossible. So impossible is something that gets chucked around a lot. And a lot of people will be like, no, this is definitive. Like, because I said it, right? You know, okay, cool. But how do you know someone might not change that in the future? Okay, guys, we can see, obviously that's running faster. Al, you've planted the seed of doubt in my head. And I am known to make mistakes. I'll talk about a big mistake I made yesterday. Okay, so let's go the unstable 061124. And I'll just check now, Alan, because you pointed it out. Let's just make sure that one isn't running at 50 Hertz. And it shouldn't be. Look, the region is Japan. Audio, video, 4.3, original. Okay, the settings pretty much should be the same. I'm not sure if they carry across from whatever core you got. So, yeah, definitely. I always have my stuff at NTSC. So, you know, you've got. So yeah, okay. So I've got it in Japan. We'll leave it in Japan. Oh, is there anywhere else I can check for it? But I've got a 4 MB cartridge in. Region is Japan. Audio and video aspect ratio. Composite blend. No. Okay. Input's not going to make a difference. But in a debug menu, no. Okay. That's pretty much the same thing. And we can check it in the other one as well. So define Saturn buttons. No, that's not going to be it. No, I think that they're both running at 60 Hertz. Alan, correct me if I'm wrong, but like PAL would be 50 Hertz if I'm not mistaken. So it's definitely not set on PAL, and we saw slow down there. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we're on the single SD RAM version of the core. What we will do is we'll run the game that I loaded by accident, Fighting Vipers. Just got to remember to always get the right game. So let's go Fighting Vipers now, because that's another 3D one, and this time we are definitely, we're on we're on the unstable 061124 from 4 days ago, the single SD RAM version of the core. Yeah, no, that's fine, thank you. That's what I thought. But you know where Alan said it, like Alan knows me really well. Like I miss stuff. Like yesterday I did a video where I said my Reddit post got deleted. Turns out it wasn't deleted. Turns out when I went to post it, it was posted under my user, which I didn't even know you could do. But the reason that I did that video in the first place was I had lots and lots of messages from people saying their posts were getting deleted. So I thought, okay, now my post is deleted, I'll actually cover it because it's something I wanted to talk about, but I never got around to it. But obviously I was mistaken. My video wasn't actually deleted. My posts wasn't deleted. That was human error. So I had to do the right thing, which was to get rid of the video and just put out a statement saying that, look, I was incorrect with that particular part. So I may well do another one in the future. Have I loaded the wrong? Have I loaded Fighting Vipers? Just make sure I have. Yeah, I have. Okay, so we've got Fighting Vipers now on single SD RAM. Oh, oh, does that show replays or okay, maybe not. Let's just go arcade mode and we'll go with Grace. We'll give Grace some grace. She's 58 kilograms. That's actually a very good weight for a fine young lady.
Let the action begin.
Let the action begin indeed. Okay, let's have a look now. So guys, what we're looking at here is we're looking to see. So this definitely feels slow. Fighting Vipers feels slow to me, especially for a lady that is wearing rollerblades. It feels slow without a doubt. And I reckon when we run Fighting Vipers on dual RAM, we won't have the speed issue. Or at least I'm kind of hoping that. Okay, let's run the dual SD RAM version of the core. Yo, Bajamiok, sorry if I butchered the name, man. 3 AM for me in the USA. I don't care. Perfect time for PCN stream. All right, dude. I think I'm an old man. I'm one of those people that goes to bed early, man. I've been getting to bed like during the week. I've been getting to bed at like 8:30 sometimes, man. But it gets dark here really, really early. So it gets dark here at like 4:30 now. It starts getting dark. By 5 o'clock, it is dark. So, you know, you come home from work, you kind of chill, you do a couple of bits, and then you're like, oh, you know what? I want to go to sleep. And I end up going to sleep. But I'll tell you what's been really good. I've got like a solid 8-9 hours, man. I go to work. I'm like springing into action like a lady in a female hygiene product, you know, when they're jumping out. Like I feel like jumping off my bus in a parachute. Like I feel like chainsawing the top of my car off and turning it into a convertible. But that's good sleep. Like don't sleep on sleep. Don't underestimate it. Getting that full sleep will just make you fresh. Mind you, I've only had 6 hours. I tried to go back to sleep after getting up, but I couldn't. I had the coffee, so I made my day. So I'll probably be tired, which might be good for me to go to work. Right, guys. Is this... Okay, this is faster straight away. What's up with the buttons? What am I... Guys, look how much faster that is. Seriously. Wow, that is insane. So, guys, any fighting game fans out there, especially 3D fighting games, if you like 3D fighters, guys, and that's your thing, chicken wing, then yeah, dual RAM is a must. But then you won't be able to have a direct analog output, from what I understand. So, you know, it's completely up to you. You know, if you're mainly into your Saturn for these fighters, and you're like, this is why I got it, then you know you can. Let's oops. Okay, let's put on some scan lines. So, well, not course, but let's go day specific. Okay, doesn't look too PVME. Let's have a look at another kind of video filter. Load preset. No, you know what? I think I'm just gonna have to go scan lines. Okay. I don't know why they're not looking that good, to be honest. It's pretty weird. Okay. Yes, you might have to play with scan lines on, which I don't know why. They're not looking that great to me today. Let's have another look. Yeah, that didn't really make a difference, did it? Okay, it does something. Have they got anything? They haven't got anything for the Saturn. Let's see if what's okay. They're not really doing a fantastic job, but there are. I've seen scan lines look better. Maybe it's just not looking well on this game. But yeah, it's faster. Has she lost like some of her clothes? It's definitely faster on dual RAM, man. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. So it looks like dual RAM's definitely getting more optimized. and it may well be worth it for some of you all out there. And just for comparison, you know what? I'm gonna go. Let me go video processing. Let me just turn off no filters. Let me just leave it on that for now. And let's go core. And so that was the dual RAM one. And just once again, just notice how smooth that was running. I'm gonna go Fighting Vipers again, just to show you what it looks like on single SD RAM. And honestly, it definitely seems like, yeah, for Saturn at least. And here's the interesting thing. What might happen in the future is some other cores might start utilizing the dual RAM feature to benefit from, well, the extra SD RAM. And that'll be interesting to see what cores kind of implement it, or what developers implement it into their work. It'll be interesting. But this is definitely the biggest jump I've seen between single and dual SD RAM since I got it. Honestly, like my dual SD RAM used to sit in a bag, and it was like if I ever went out to a friend's, I would take this out with me. And now it seems to be the main one on my desk now. I'm not really using the single SD RAMs because I'm not using a CRT, so it makes sense to use this one. But there you go. Look, you can see how much slower it is, guys. I think if I actually had time and I wasn't doing a stream, I'd capture both of them independently, and then I would just run the video showing, look, this is what it looks like on single SD RAM. But what I would do is, rather than using a dual SD RAM MiSTer to test both the cores, I'd run one on the single SD RAM MiSTer, and then I'd run one on the dual SD RAM MiSTer on independent machines, and just to show what the difference is. But wow, man, it really is night and day. That's amazing. So big shout out to SRG320, guys. His Patreon link is up on the screen in the top right at the moment. If you want to support the guy, support the guy. I don't think any of his calls are behind the paywall or a beta. He just puts them out free, but you can, you can support him for his work. You know, MiSTer wouldn't be what it is today without the cores SRG320 has done. The PC Engine core, the Super Nintendo core, the Sega Saturn core. There's likely more cores out there, but I'm not the encyclopedia I would like to be. So let's run another game. I want to run the Golden Axe one now. So let's see. So let's go back on. Okay, let's run. What's a good test actually for something that might push it? And he only kind of mentioned the fighters. Let's run Dead or Alive again, but let's run it on the single SD RAM to see if it does actually run a little bit slow. So I'm using dual and play. Yeah, I mean that's to be honest, that's the best way to play. If you can have a CRT, like if my ideal stream situation would be to play stuff on a CRT and obviously output it to my capture card and all the software via the HDMI cable. That would be the ideal thing. I just don't have the space, man. I wish if I did. Maybe if I haven't. Without, like, I've got like my laptop, an additional screen, plus another monitor on the wall in the bedroom. You know, I think there's only so much what my wife can take of me, you know, quite frankly, just abusing it, you know, somewhat. So I'll stick with what I've got. I've got a low latency screen. It's not, I would say it's not really the best screen when it comes to clarity. That reminds me, I'm lifting my chair up now because then I'll get a better view. I'll get better light on the view. So let's run this and see how it goes. So I will at some point get myself like a OLED monitor, like just a small one, like maybe less than 30 inches, for example, and that's what I'll be playing on. But for now, no. Okay, to be honest, oh what, there was slowdown there. So look at, yeah. So guys, look, there's a distinct advantage with dual RAM. Even with, so this isn't consistently slow, but there are bits of slowdown that are kind of noticed in here. When you play, you can feel it. You can feel it when you're doing a combo. The move goes a little bit slower. And I hope it's not all placebo. Certain parts of this game can slow down. I wouldn't mind that. I think it would have a good effect. If you know, you know. Okay, look, there you go. That slowdown was very, very apparent. Let's see if we can get him on the edge on the explosion parts. And maybe they'll slow down there, not sure. Okay, let's run the same thing with, let's go back to the dual RAM core. And yeah, guys, it's super apparent. Die Hard was also a great 3D. Yeah, that is a darn good game, man. That's so that's when the evolution of fighters, or not fighters, sorry, beat 'em ups, and they were looking like that. And me personally, I really did like that look. And I also feel like that the Die Hard game has aged well. Like a lot of 3D stuff hasn't aged well, but I think the Die Hard arcade game has a very, very special charm about it that I like a lot. I like it a lot. We'll run that because that's one of the games I played on here. I don't ever remember playing it in the arcade, but I know it would have been a game that I liked. It's just one of those games. So let's run with this. So we're back on dual RAM right now, right? Just want to make sure. Yep, we're back on dual RAM. And we'll go Kasumi again, and hopefully we won't have the slowdown that we were getting on the single SD RAM. So like I said, you know, like previously people were encouraged to buy like a dual RAM setup, and then it turned out they didn't actually need it. And a lot of people kind of wasted their money because they didn't need to get it, and they got it on information that was given to the community, and it was incorrect. However, you know, if you did buy it, you know, now you can use it. Now you can definitely utilize it for the Saturn core, and who knows, like I wonder if something like CPS3 gets implemented and the only way it will work is via dual RAM, which will be, you know, which might be a requirement in order just to fit it on here. But you've got developers like Robert Pate that have brought the PlayStation core, the Nintendo 64 core, and they use single SD RAM. They don't have that double RAM requirement. For Dead or Alive, guys, it's what's the right way to say? Where's Die Hard Arcade? So it's not as apparent in this one how much slowdown there is. It's very, very apparent in Fighting Vipers and Fighters Megamix, but in Dead or Alive, I have to say it's not as apparent as the other games. Like, yes, there is some slowdown there, but it doesn't, you know, in Fighting Vipers, it's just blatant. Like it's one is just running super, super slow. And I'm sure if I just ran two of them and just looked at the clock, you'll see that the whole clock thing is just going slower on that. So yeah, man, I think at this moment in time, things can always change, but right now it's worth buying a second stick of SD RAM if you want to enjoy the games as you're seeing me enjoy them on a dual SD RAM MiSTer. So, you know, you've got different vendors. I'll always plug my sponsor, MiSTer Add-ons. He sells excellent RAM. The RAM that I've used from him in this one, absolutely no issues with it. It works fantastically well. And he's a stand-up guy. He's just such a darn nice guy, man. Like, honestly, like I'm amazed. I'm amazed and I'm honored to have him as a sponsor. Yeah, I mean, I've got my sponsorship deal with him for another year. We renewed it. And like, just seriously, guys, just wicked. But you know what? Reality check. You can also buy cheaper SD RAM from like Taki Udon, right? Like, what is it? $15 or something, and then you pay postage on top. So there's cheaper options out there to get yourself SD RAM. So you can always, once I put something in, I don't want to take it out. I don't like messing about with it. Once my MiSTer kit is complete, it's complete. I just don't want to mess around with it. But you can always, you know, remove it, take it, adjust stuff as you want. I know Sorge made a new board that kind of lets you go between digital and analog, so you're not committed to a particular board if you buy it. So interesting stuff. But yeah, this game's good, man. I feel like I would have really liked this in the arcade. I don't remember playing this in the arcade. I may have seen it in the arcade. I can't remember. It was the hazy days, man. There was a lot of clubbing around those days, so didn't exactly do it. So let's give this a quick play because I do like this game. I think it's okay. I don't even know what deep scan is, but we'll go Die Hard Arcade. Spent a year coding on a 55-inch panel and ended up making. So, you know, at my work now, one of the monitors I've got and the distance I've got is perfectly correct. So I've got a couple of monitors. One's like 24-inch, but one's like 30 inches. Man, it's amazing. Like, so much productivity on it. But it's just, I prefer having one PC with multiple screens, but I've got separate PCs for separate tasks, for example, with separate screens. So sometimes I want like a separate screen. However, I have to say the 30-inch screen, because it's so big, I can just split my work up on that screen. So if I want to, you know, if I'm working on a project where I'm using information and I want it, you know, at home I've got multiple screens for that. So my bigger screen I think is like 24 inches, maybe 27. I'll split like 2 articles on that, and my smaller laptop that I'm currently using is only 14 inches. So I'll do like my typing or whatever document or presentation I'm working on at the time on that. So even when I'm doing like my YouTube stuff, I'll be using the 2 screens. I would like 3 screens, but again, it's just lack of space, man. I wish if I had more space, but that won't happen until the kids move out, or you know, I can move somewhere bigger. But I'll tell you what, guys, like accommodation, buying, letting, it's just crazy in London, man. Honestly, it's just insane. And I think it's like that all around the world. Someone was saying that in McDonald's it's like $18 for a meal. I mean, that's crazily insane. Crazily insane. Like $18. Like we always thought from the UK, we always thought America was cheaper to buy like junk food and fast food, and it was bigger and better. But I think over here, that meal will be how much will it be? I haven't had a McDonald's meal for a long time. But I think it'll be like £8 tops, which would equate to around maybe 11, maybe 12. No, not as much as that. Maybe $10 to $11. So it's cheaper than it is in the United States, which is unheard of. I always thought junk food was specifically cheaper in the USA, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Look at that guy with that weapon, man, on his shoulder. That's a great game, great arcade game. It's not 18 for a meal in Mac. Oh, okay, how much is it? I saw someone post it on Twitter saying that it's just crazy. Amsterdam is the same. Now 1.8 British pound a month rent. Wow, okay, yeah, that's kind of it, man. That's crazy. Absolutely insane. I don't get it. I literally don't get it. You know, there's your like a vast amount of your wages is just going on your rent, but then you've got council tax, you've got you know, your utility bills, you've got everything else on top of that. It is crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. So Michael Delima, how much is, so let's say a Big Mac meal. How much is a Big Mac meal? We're not going large, we're just talking the random meal, the Big Mac, the fries, and a soft drink. Like how much is it? Because someone definitely said on Twitter that they paid like $18 for a meal, and I was like, wow, that's insanely expensive. Let me run the game that I used on the thumbnail, because I don't want to forget that. And I really do like that game. Okay, so we're not talking about special deal, Michael. Like, so I used to, before, like up until like maybe a couple of years ago, we had lots of vouchers at our work which got you a Big Mac and fries, or a quarter pounder and fries, or a fillet of fish and fries for $1.99 for £2, and that was amazingly good value. So if I was really hungry, I'd get 2 of them. I'd give 1 portion of fries to a colleague at work. I'd be like, here you go, have some fries. And then what I would do is I would have like I don't know, like 2. I like the fillet of fishes, so I'd have like 2 fillet of fishes. They weren't too big, and I'd have that with the fries, and that would come up to £4. But they stopped those vouchers. I don't really see McDonald's vouchers anymore. The only time I go to McDonald's now is if my kids want, why isn't this loaded? Is if my kids want like the pancake breakfast, then I'll go there like early on a Sunday morning or something. But no, not special offers. We're talking about like the normal price. What's happened here? Let's give it a reboot. So yeah, yes, so yeah, the normal price is what we're talking. You know, we go in, no voucher, hi sir, this is what I want, and they'll charge you like the normal price. So let's go, let's load that up again. Saturn unstable, this is the one here. The coffee at McDonald's over here, I have to say, compared to like other places, it's definitely a lot cheaper. It's like £1.40 or something for like the basic coffee, and I think it goes up to about £2.50. But generally, I don't really like buying coffee outdoors. Like I'll make coffee indoors, I'll make coffee at my work. I don't believe like in paying like £4 for a coffee. The only time I buy coffee is like, let's say Michael, me and you were to meet up. Like we meet up and you know and I'll be like, okay, let's go grab a coffee. Then I'll buy a coffee, but I don't mind paying the £4 coffee then. And the simple reason for that is I'm not buying the coffee as a takeaway. I am buying, I'm more paying for the venue, somewhere to sit down, somewhere to maybe to pull out a laptop, or somewhere to sit down and chill and converse. Then I'm paying as a patron for the venue. Then I think that buying a coffee has some value. But I see like colleagues of mine, they spend like, you know, £10-15 on coffee a day, and I'm like nuts. Good thing is that at my new work, we've got facilities like coffee like for free, man. It's just, we've got, you know, very, very good barista coffee, and there's no cost to it. To be honest, I've gone back to drinking tea. I just drank, like, I ended up drinking 3-4 cups of coffee a day, and I was like, I'm on that tea period now. I have less coffee than I do tea now. Tea's overtaken. Guys, I leave the sound quite loudish for this because I really, really do like the soundtrack. Let's go this. Yeah, you know what? I've been teetotal, Ryan, since 2013. So what's that like? That's like 11 years, man. I'm boring, man. I'm so boring, man. And you know, I lived the life, man. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun in my DJing days. You know, my clubbing days. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of you know, a lot of mornings where you wake up and you're like, you know, what happened? Where was I? But I'm kind of glad those days are behind me. You know, what happens is, you know, you do all that stuff. You know, like a lot of endorphins are released, and your endorphin bank ends up getting empty. Let's try to get the power ups. So yeah, and then yes, you'd end up getting like really, really depressed, and you'd be down, not knowing why, because your body's just like, nah, you've emptied that endorphin bank, you need to refill, you're in overdraft, and we're going to charge interest. And you know, eventually a certain time came where I just kind of weaned off the party lifestyle, and then just in the end just became teetotal, man. And now, like, yeah, I've been like that for years, man. And it's a bit awkward because sometimes when I meet a lot of my friends from when I was younger, they're like, oh, let's go, you know, let's meet at a pub, or let's meet at a restaurant or whatever. So when they say pub, I'm like, look, I'm not going to join you guys. I can't do it. I've given up that lifestyle. And they're like, you know, come and don't drink. And I'm like, look, I don't want to put myself in temptation, because I do miss that time. It's not like I don't miss it. So I don't want to be in that environment. So what we'll end up doing is, you know, like my old school friends, we'll end up meeting like once a year or once every 6 months, and we'll go out for a restaurant. So we'll go out to a restaurant, and these guys start piling it up in the restaurant, man. And I just quickly leave right after the meal, man, because I just don't want to be around that now. And especially, like, here's the thing: once you're teetotal and people are intoxicated around you, seriously, the conversations that they have and the mind frame that they're on, they'll try and say something to you, and if you're intoxicated with them, you'd agree and you'd understand. But if you're stone cold sober, it just sounds like complete and utter BS, you know. It's like a problem, and it's not really a problem, because, you know, you're just not taking care of a problem. You're choosing to brush it away and go get high. You know, some of our friends are like that. And, you know, when you tell them, well, you know, the reason your wife and you broke up is because you're still partying and going out for 3 days in a row, you know, going out on a Friday and coming back home on a Sunday evening. You're out 48 hours, you know, bank holiday, you're out. And that's just not, you know, we're like in our 40s now, man. Our kids are grown-ups. Like, you need to chill, man. You know, you need to chill that stuff out. So, yeah, that's that. But yeah, guys, this game's banging. I can't recommend this game enough. There's a lot of good shmups on the Saturn, and I feel like saying this all the time because it is just amazing. This would have been in the arcade when I stopped going to the arcades, and it's got the beefy graphics. It's 2D. It just, everything about this game is just amazing. I still haven't worked out that those skulls, I imagine they're power-ups because you just get so many of them. Whereas in a lot of other games, when you get a skull, it means that it's a trap. But like the level layout, the structure of this game, the soundtrack, the way the enemy design, the way they fly out, everything about this game, I just absolutely love this game. And this is a game I discovered on the Saturn. I should really check out the arcade version, but I do find that a lot of arcade games via MAME, I prefer playing them on Saturn. I find like the latency to be, you know, almost intolerable in some games. So, you know, especially with stuff like the Taito F3, anything that's on Taito F3 and that's out for Saturn, like Elevator Action, especially Elevator Action, it just runs better on the Saturn core than on MAME. That's my personal opinion anyway. My wife's dad was an alcoholic. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. No, that's good. Look, so one of my friends that I grew up with, man, and I haven't heard from the guy. His phone line's dead. So this guy, when we were young, man, like we partied, but this guy partied to the next level. And he was like one of my best friends. I knew him from the age of 1, like from the nursery. Our mothers were friends, and you know, we grew up together. He was like a brother to me. But when we kind of hit 16 and we started partying, this guy would like go to the off license, buy like a quarter bottle of whiskey and just down it without anyone seeing, and then, you know, do stupid stuff like buckle over and fall over. Irish guy, and I got threatened by like his Irish builder uncle saying, you know, what have you done to him and all of that. And I said, look, he done this, and he was like, okay, I'll get it, and he kind of covered for us. But then like we kind of stopped, and this guy stopped. His wife's divorced him, you know, his wife's lovely, really nice girl, and the guy won't meet up with me because the only thing we ever did since the age of 16 was party. So when I became teetotal, we kind of drifted away. So I felt nostalgic. I tried to give him a shout. He was supposed to meet up with me, but he never turned up. And I know why he didn't turn up, because the guy would just get high. And when he got high, he didn't want to come and face me or have a look at me, you know, even though I would have kind of tolerated it to some extent, as long as he wasn't super high off his thing, you know, a little buzz, I would have tolerated it. But yeah, he didn't come, and, you know, last I heard he was living off a briefcase, got hooked on substances. This guy had a very addictive personality, and the mad thing is, his dad died an alcoholic. When we were in school, like, you know, 14, 15, his dad was, you know, on the park benches with all like the tramps just drinking, and it was embarrassing because we'd see him and he'd be saying hello to his son, and the son would be dead embarrassed that his father's in that state. And in the end, his father died, and the son had to go and say, yes, you can turn off the life support machine because the guy's pretty much a veg. But I think history's repeating. I think he's on that same thing himself, because I have no idea where he is, no idea what he's doing. For all I know, he's an alco on the street somewhere. Funnily enough, I saw a friend of his, like a mutual friend of ours, but more friend of his, and I saw him like begging outside Tesco, sitting down there, and I hadn't seen the guy for like, we're talking like a couple of decades. So I felt really bad, man, when I saw him, and I was like, you dude, like, what's up? And he was like, yeah, you know, I got kicked out of my house, I'm waiting this, you know, the same old thing, whatever it was. And, you know, I always like, so what I did was, whatever money I had in my wallet, which was, it wasn't a massive amount, but it wasn't an insignificant amount either. I generally carry some cash with me in case the system goes down. I've had that happen before, where it's like, sorry, our payment has gone down. So cash will always be king. So I gave him all that cash, and then, you know, I see him there every now and again, but I would not give him anything again. You know, he's there, he's doing that. But it was heartbreaking to see someone you grew up with, someone that you consider a friend, and you know, you see him begging down there. Like it you know, it affects you. You think about it, you know, you're like, wow. Like, and I've seen him there quite regularly outside this particular Tesco. So to be honest, I won't see him there now because I only ever saw them there on a Friday. So I don't know if they take turns or whatever, if they've got a roster in place. But I don't go past that place on Friday now because I'm pretty much working every Friday now. But yeah, sad, really sad to see that, man. There's a lot of people, a lot of my friends from when I was younger, they're still on that party lifestyle. Some, you know, some in better degrees to others. Some control it, they'll do it once every 3 months and they won't go crazy with it. Some will do it every weekend, and yeah, it's just mad, man. It's mad. Wow, look how awesome that robot looks like, man. Yeah, cash is always king, man. I like that, Lance. And I learned that because, oh wow, I'm the giant robot. That's amazing. Controlling the damn giant robot. I feel like a Power Ranger. So I remember once I went shopping and there was an issue with like Visa or something, and they couldn't take any card payments. And like, we're talking like 90% of people in the supermarket had no money. They'd have to walk out. I had, to be honest, I didn't have that much cash on me because I'll tell you one thing. Since my daughter turned 16 and my wife, they just always take stuff out of my wallet. It's like my wallet is a free place to go. They're like, oh yeah, have you got any money? Can I take it? I need it for that. So my wife actually took some money out from my wallet, and all I had on me was, I had a £5 note left in my wallet instead of like £25, and I had like £2 something in change. So the shopping that I did was, I remember one of the items was peri peri sauce, but I had to put some of the items away, but it was enough. I managed to get like the milk, the bread, the essentials, and kind of come back. And I was like, wow, so glad I had cash. I've actually encouraged my wife. I've told her, put like a £20 note behind your mobile phone case, because if you ever need it, then you've got it there. It's like the old days where you used to kind of put it under the sole of your trainer. So you used to get clubbing, you know, you knew if you got destroyed, wasted, whatever, you had £20 in your socks, or like underneath, you know, the sole inside your shoe, you put it underneath there. So you knew you could get a cab home. Like back then you could get a cab very cheap. Cabs were cheap. Everyone could get cabs. Cabs wasn't a luxury, it was just something that you could get. Let me run a game that we've not really seen. I want to go, because I always run the same darn games when I do these streams. What's this? I don't know what this is. We'll run this. Let's have a look. Let me look at some of the chat. Yeah, I mean, McDonald's coffee isn't bad, and out of all the buying coffee, yeah, it seems to be the best one. Yeah. Yeah, you know, lifting weights is good. I need to do more of that, man. Yeah, I definitely need to do more exercise, man. I need to get into that. I'm just working, like where I'm working now, I've got longish hours, not as long as my old work, but I am looking to getting the hours reduced. But the company I've started for, I can't go for a promotion for 9 months. I've got to do 9 months. Exactly the term it takes for a baby to get born is what I have to do before I can even be considered for a promotion. It's kind of called like whatever it is, you know, your initial part of the company. So hopefully in 9 months I'll get a promotion, which will reduce my hours a little bit and will give me a bit more time. Yeah, you get that, man. You get a lot of yeah, you get a lot of the stoners, man. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of the stoner guys, man. It's like you know, like my worker doing like a recruitment day, and my boss was saying, look, do you know anyone? And I was like, look, man, like I don't know anyone that will want to come in, you know, over here, you know, to get into this industry or whatever. I was like, look, you know, anyone that I know that might be looking for a job, I wouldn't stick my neck out for them. And anyone else has got jobs, you know. I'm like out of like my close group of friends or the guys I associate with, I would go as far as to say I'm probably the least successful when it comes to career. A lot of my friends are, you know, into IT, coders, developers, or like they're in the medical professional as doctors. So they've got like high up jobs. A lot of them have got like company owners, to the point where when we'd go out for a meal, they said, look, don't pay. And I was like, look, I've got my pride, let me pay. And my friend was like, look, I'm going to pay the bill, but he goes, it's going on my company credit card. He goes, I have a massive amount of stuff that I can put on my company credit card. But he says, one thing I have to tell you is, he goes, you've got a choice now. Either it's going to be a tax write-off and the tax man's going to pay it, or you're going to pay it out of your net salary. I was like, cool, man, you got me. So after that, every time we go out, I don't even offer to pay. You know, he explained it so well, and I felt very comfortable with that. Mate, I grew up with this. Oh wow, okay, at 31. We're really drinking Bacardi. Oh wow, that special brew is like rocket fuel, man. That's a destroyer, man. That's like Thanos, man, destroyer of planets. Extremely young. Yeah, man. Yeah. So unfortunately, it's crazy, man. Addiction's bad. I think someone put a tweet up yesterday about gambling, seeing lots of gambling adverts on YouTube. And guys, I'm very, very anti-gambling. I've seen that like destroy people as well, you know. Like gambling is as bad as drugs and drink, man. Yeah, there's people like that, and I feel sad, you know. I feel sad, and when I meet with them, and you know, like I think one of the last time I was around there, a friend of mine was at a barbecue. And he goes, look, can you come and DJ? And I was really, really happy to DJ, because what happened was you could actually I converted all my vinyl over to MP3 files or WAV files. I can't remember now. It's been a while, and on the iPad they had this thing called iDJ, and it was really, really good. I didn't even need to match the stuff manually the way we did on old Technics 1210s, you know, match the beat manually. I just put in, run this at 120 beats per minute, and another one at 120 BPM, and it just done a really, really good job of syncing that. You know, there was some tricks, and you had to, you know, there was some stuff that might have been a little bit off key. So I mixed in. I remember seeing like a lot of my friends, and they were still on that same thing, and they were like, oh, you know, what is good you got out, you're like teetotal and all of this, and I'm just looking, thinking, man, you guys just haven't aged. It's like we're 18, 19 again. You know, back then we had the stamina, we had less responsibility. So yeah, it was nuts, man. It was sad to see that, really, really sad to see that. But that's it. Sometimes you have to actively, you know, say to yourself that you want to stop, and it's not always easy to stop, you know. One of the hardest things for me to give up was actually just cigarettes, man. That was so hard, and again, that 2013 is when I gave up, and I haven't gone back since. That was difficult, man. I fell off the wagon a few times, and you know, now it's been so long, now I'll never smoke again, just stupid. And I've seen the prices of cigarettes, man. They're almost like £20 a box, man. They're approaching, you know, like 70 pence to £1 per cigarette. Where when I started smoking, it was, you know, it was like less. It was like about £1.50, I think, or £1.80 even, for like premium cigarettes for 20 of them. You know, now, you know, they've gone up like, you know, tenfold, from £1.80 to like £18. Insane, absolutely insane. Sorry. I like this. This seems like a good game, not something that I'm super duper feeling. This is interesting. Baku Baku Animal. So Lance, Mr. Pie is gonna come out soon. So if you watch the weekly news video, there's a big segment in there, and what Taki said is I think he's done quality assurance on like 1,000 units so far. So there's gonna be 2,000 in total. So he's gonna do like the rest of them, and yeah, it's gonna be so hopefully they'll be out soon. I don't quote me on this, but I'm predicting it's going to be less than a week before those go back out. So I'll try and put a video out and kind of cover it on the channel to the best of my ability. If not, I'll definitely put out like a tweet or like a community post if I can't actually get around to doing a video. But yeah, it looks like Mr. Pies are imminent. And guys, look, I've got to say, like I've spoken to Taki on like multiple occasions. Like he's a solid guy, man. He's very nice. He's very polite, and at least what I get from him, he's very, very honest. He's been very, very transparent with stuff. Like I you know, if you're nice, you treat me nice. You've got a nice, you know, you treat the community nice, and you're not an idiot, I'm gonna like you. And I like the guy, and I wish the guy all the best, man. Very, very transparent, just very, very cool. Bringing in cheaper misters. I was upset about all the slanderous like Reddit posts about him. He kind of addressed it, saying that there's a group of individuals with a competing interest. Again, I've got no idea who they are. You know, I may have an idea in my head to who they are, but I can't concrete why I say it. So, but I feel bad that Taki's going through that. But as a middle finger to them, he's made the second batch of the Mr. Pie $5 cheaper. So, yeah, it's just not really nice, that kind of slander. Someone actually dissected that post, tore it apart, and said, you know, all this stuff is BS. You've got this stuff, you're not supposed to share it either. It looks like it's been filed incorrectly. It was just a whole bunch of crap, and it's the same thing that. It's the same thing that keeps getting posted and reposted by new burner accounts. And what a lot of people were saying is these burner accounts, there's a way to buy upvotes for your post, so it gets pushed up the ranking on Reddit. So they're buying up posts to kind of do this. There's a lot of dodginess, and that's one of the things that kind of wanted me to do that video yesterday when I thought, and I was wrong about that my post got deleted by the MiSTer FPGA subreddit. It didn't. It just got filed under my. I made a post under my user. I didn't even know you could do that until Mike B. Jackson pointed it out. So big shout out to you, Mike B. Jackson. But guys, you know what? I'm human. I make mistakes. And if I make a mistake here, I will come out and say, you know what? I made the mistake, guys. I effed up. And I did. I effed up with that. However, I really wish I hadn't effed that up, because I was talking about the other points where a lot of people were saying anything positive that they posted about the Taki Mr. Pie, as well as the Mr. Pie, as well as the QM Tech clone, was just getting deleted. So it was definitely very. There's definitely some weird stuff going on, but because of the wrong information from myself, I had to delete the video. I don't want to say that my post is getting deleted and they weren't getting deleted. That's just absolutely wrong, and that's not what I'm about. And guys, I will make mistakes from time to time. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I cover. And that was just stupid human error on my part, man. There was nothing else to it. So the video had to come down, and you know, I had to put that statement out saying, guys, you know, I was wrong. And if it happens in the future again where I'm wrong again, I'll retract it and I'll post it on every media post where, you know, I've posted it initially. But guys, this is a fun little game. As you can imagine, the bamboo, the panda's gonna eat the bamboo sticks. Dog, give a dog a bone. Bunny's gonna have a rabbit, so if we put that here, the dog can eat a bone that goes up as well. Banana, naturally a monkey will eat the banana. Again, like this is a fun puzzle game. This is something that honestly, and I'm gonna sound like I'm gonna keep going on about my handhelds again, but I always do like I love handheld gaming. So let's look at that. Oh, look at that panda. I like that. Yeah, Lance, no problem, man. Yeah, definitely. Look, if you're on Twitter, follow Taki over on Twitter, man. That's the best place to get the information. That is where you get the most definitive information from Taki regarding Mr. Pie. Oh, okay. Oh, both of them eat it. Okay, nullifies it. Interesting game, man. Oh, I'm doing terribly here. Never mind. Oh, give the monkey the banana. Pile up the carrots. Okay. Okay, go doggy, go. Will he eat? Oh, he does eat them. Okay, interesting. Guys, I'm not great at puzzle games, but this is a very, very interesting concept. I have to say, I do like it a lot. All right, okay, let's run another game. Stay away. Yeah, do you know what? That might be the thing. To be honest, I was excited about the M90 core, and I just wanted to put something out there that that showed that it was available. And yeah, so I kind of put it up there. But like I said, it was my mistake, man. I didn't even know you could create a post and it'll be under your user. And I think that's one of the changes on Reddit when you're doing stuff on desktop or the mobile. When you go to do it, I noticed that it asks you at the top which subreddit do you want to submit this post to. So maybe I wasn't actually, I don't know. I honestly don't know what happened. Maybe I was on the main page, maybe I was on my home feed, wherever it was. And by default, it has the R, instead of R / it has U / and it had the Pixel Cherry Ninja name. And I thought I was posting it under MiSTer FPGA, man. So, you know, in my opinion, based on information given by others, yes, I think there's gatekeeping being taken. It's taking place on the MiSTer subreddit. And that's simply because of the QM tech and the tacky stuff, anything positive being deleted. And so there's a degree of control there, which makes me think that there's a commercial interest behind it. Because why else would that stuff get deleted? It's news within the scene. But when I saw my post wasn't up there, honestly, like I was seeing a bit of red. I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense now. A lot of people came to me. They said, guys, our posts are getting deleted. And I was like, okay, you know, duly noted. Let me see if I can turn it into something. And when my video got deleted, I thought, okay, you know what? Now I'm going to highlight this because I can actually show an example of my sorry, not my video. I keep saying video, my post. I can show an example of my post going up there, evidence of it there, and evidence of it not showing up in incognito. But there I was wrong there, so absolutely wrong. And apologies to you guys for getting that information out there. But hopefully I've corrected it all, and for anyone out there that didn't pick up on it, they've kind of picked up on it. So anyway, that's kind of gone over. But what I did find quite interesting was though that the moderator, or the main moderator, I don't even know who the other moderator is. I've never seen them post on there or anything. The main moderator is a user on Reddit called Black Reavers, but they are also the moderator on the Mars FPGA Reddit subreddit. So a little bit unusual to have that. Just wondering, you know, is your allegiance more to Mars, or is it more to MiSTer? Or it could just be it's a person that likes FPGA gaming like me and covers everything. There could be something very, very innocent behind it. Maybe it's not even a moderator that's doing it. But I remember in the video, that's just something that I found. I was like, okay, this is the same moderator that's on that's doing the Mars stuff. I was like, okay, that's a little bit weird. And given that my post, I thought my post disappeared when it didn't, and I saw the moderator there, I obviously jumped to the wrong conclusion there, and it was incorrect. But yeah, let's have a look. Right, okay, let's run another game. We saw this. It's a fantastic game, guys, by the way. Runs on the Tato F3. I'm just going to run Elevator Action as well, because that's a really, really good game. You know how when you get into an elevator, as we call them, lifts over here in the UK, you know, it announces, and the lifts at my work have got a letter of the alphabet. So, you know, when it says elevator A, I keep thinking it's going to say like elevator action. It doesn't say elevator action. It's just an elevator. It takes me up some floors. But, you know, when you play elevator action, you keep thinking it's going to say elevator action. It'd be interesting if it does one day. I don't think that's going to happen. So Alex, yeah, so the single, so there'll be updates to the core, and there'll be benefits to the single RAM version as well, but there'll be some benefits that will make specific games in this example run better or have less slowdown with a dual SD RAM version of the MiSTer. And earlier in the video, I swapped over to single SD RAM, and I ran the same game on dual SD RAM, and we could see that running on single SD RAM, there was a lot of slowdown in some of the 3D fighters. So again, there's an advantage there's an advantage to having dual RAM, but I get it. A lot of people that play their MiSTer want to play it on a CRT, and I completely get that. And if I could play stuff on a CRT, I would definitely want to play stuff on a CRT. I can't. So I'd actually now go and my recommendation to people would be, right now, if you're not using a CRT, then honestly, like just make that jump to dual RAM. There's no reason for you to not have it. You know, it's well worth it for the additional stuff you've got on Saturn, unless of course you're like, you hate fighting games and you've got no interest in playing the games where that slowdown is gone. If you've got no interest in, cool, you're good with single SD RAM. And even a month ago, I would have, you know, whatever anyone asked me, even for a Saturn core, I would have said just go with single SD RAM. There is zero reason to get dual RAM. There's nothing on there. There's nothing on there properly. There's like a Jaguar core. There's some midway games that run without sound. There's certain things out there, but there's nothing in there that you think to yourself, do you know what? It's worth getting. However, you know, opinions change, and that's important. Nothing is ever concrete. So I'm using my dual RAM MiSTer now. That's going to be my main MiSTer now. It's the one I got from MiSTer Add-ons as a sponsorship deal. I've marked this video as sponsored because I like giving friends of the channel a plug. So obviously I'm plugging the developer. I'm also plugging FPC, which is Free Play City, which is an arcade very close to me, the best arcade in London. And if you do want to go there, it's open Thursdays and Fridays, I think, from 6, and it's £10 to go in. And it's open on the weekends from like, I can't remember, 11 or 12 till like late, till like 9 or 10 or something. And it's £15 admission. And as well as that, I'm plugging MiSTer Add-ons, man, because that's where I got my sponsorship from. That's where I got my MiSTer from, the dual RAM MiSTer, you know, because I thought I required it for some upcoming cores, and it turned out that you know, that was incorrect. However, I'm so glad that it's being utilized now, because my dual RAM MiSTer's been sitting in a bag for a long time. Let's run another game. Oh, this is a janky game. But if you have VGA out, you will have single for sure. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's a good way of knowing. Yeah. So my normal MiSTer, my original D10 Nano, I have got VGA out, and I'm using the VGA out, but I use it on like a LCD monitor, so it's not really like I'm doing the digital stuff. I did get off MiSTer Add-ons like a VGA to SCART lead, in the hope that I do one day connect it to a CRT, and SCART is a very common connection, and I quite like the look as well. It'll be accurate to what I remember and what I know. So yeah, that'll be interesting. One day I have a dream, right? Maybe I'll do something with it. Oh, okay, look at that. It knows there's not another controller not plugged in. Can't select versus. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go my boy Hagar. And the reason I like Hagar, when I first played Final Fight, I picked Hagar, man. That flying power driver, wow, that really was next level. I remember seeing that. After playing the game like a lot more, I think Cody's the best character in there. I think Hagar might actually be the worst character, but yeah, Hagar was just cool to see. It's a 6-button game, isn't it? Wow, look at that. Oh, I got weapons. Oh, it's a 4-button game. Oh, wow. He's got the lariat. He's got a massive fist. Look at that. It's such a goofy game. Shut up. Oh, let's grab. Right, okay. No! Okay, especially with a grapple. But wow, you've got to be dead close to them. Okay. Yeah, I think Sniper Mike, I think some people say that you can get like a HDMI to VGA converter. Okay, let me pick another character in this actually. Yeah, so you can have like an adapter that converts HDMI over to back to analog, but I don't know if you can have analog directly. It's usually the better option. The game, yeah, absolutely, Jamie C, man. Like we need this. We need this game. I'm really looking forward to the Capcom Fighting Collection 2, whatever it is, the one that's got CVS 2 on it, man. And I'm very much so looking forward to that. Very, very much so on there. Right, so who's got a fireball? Let's go poison. I think Taki was saying that in his upcoming boards, he's going to solder the RAM to the boards, I think in revision 3. So there's going to be some changes onto that. So that might make things a lot easier for people. Oh, look at that. Love it. Don't move. Has she got... Come on. Ah, she's got a dragon punch as well. That is sick. I'm just going to see how long I can spam fireballs for. Oh, come on. Oh, I think there's a taunt button. I was trying to grab a weapon. I have no idea how to pick it up. Oh, wow. I could have sworn I blocked that. Never mind. What a great super. Let's run that again. Okay, cool. Okay, interesting. You know, talking about other obstacle games, let's go for Golden Axe the Duel, guys. Okay, this is a great one. I really like this game. I should like play it on an arcade stick at some point. I'd love an arcade core of this as well. But this is one where, in fact, the sound used to break very often when running this, and I wonder if that's the case now. And yes, Golden Axe, man. Who doesn't like Golden Axe, right? Golden Axe was one of the greatest arcade games, like of all time. I'll say, you know, it's one of the arcade games that I really I cherished it. You know, when it came out in the arcade, the soundtrack. Oh, actually, I'm not going to do it. Terrible at doing it. But I remember seeing that, the soundtrack, the enemies, just the way it looked. You know, as a kid, seeing that game, the original Golden Axe in the arcade, it was like the best thing ever. It was like, there was some games that became instant favorites, right? Stuff like Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja, Golden Axe, obviously the Street Fighter games, Street Fighter 1, Street Fighter 2, WWF Superstars. So there was games that, Final Fight was one of them. There was games that when you saw, Strider was one of them, Willow was one of them. You notice I'm saying a lot of Capcom games, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So it was games that that, you know, when you saw them in the arcade, they instantly became your favorite. And the original Golden Axe was one of those games. It was pure bliss. Absolutely just a gem of a game, guys. Like, absolutely love that game to bits, man. Even now, like, I think it's just such a great game. I need to really play the sequels more. I did have I did have Golden Axe 2 on the Mega Drive, but I never really played it too much. So I don't remember too much about Golden Axe 2. So maybe I should play it. I remember Golden Axe 3 was a bit weird from what I remember. I know a lot of people like Revenge of the Death Adder. I mean, I played it. I think it's a decent game. I just remember completing it and I got a little bit bored as I went along. But that might have just been me. Sometimes brawlers can do that to you. That audio upgrade. Oh, okay. So is that the what's it called? The Pi upgrade, the MIDI Pi thing. I know Philae, who always comes on the streams, he speaks really highly of it. So does Chris's Retro Gaming, aka Terminator 2K2. I sold the Mega Drive. I think I sold quite a few different machines here. So this is like, you know, you like Street Fighter, you like Golden Axe, you get a Golden Axe fighting games that uses those buttons, and it seriously is just a superb game. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna go Def Adder. Okay, look how cool it looks, man. Like a fire. I never saw this in the arcade. The first time I think I ever saw this was on running on the Saturn Core, but I would have been blown away playing it, seeing this in the arcade. Wow, look at that. So you got the little magic guy there as well. You see him at the bottom. So don't know how it works. I've got like level 3 in magic. And I got beats, man. Def Adder got beats. The bad guy has lost. But yeah, guys, try this game out. Do you know what? Let me just pick the normal Ryu guy, man. Let's run it. It's probably an easy way to quit the game and restart it. But yeah, definitely try this game out. Don't worry, it hasn't crashed, guys. I've just gone silent during that kind of load screen. So let's go arcade and let's just pick, like, what's his name? The warrior in this, whatever he's called. It's not called Axe Battler, is he? Oh, main blade. Okay. Oh, Cane Blade. Sorry. Yeah, do you know? I'll try it, man. It's fun. If you like fighters, it's Golden Axe and it's a fighting game. And, you know, the little dudes, we saw them going there, you know, the thieves, I think they're known as. I got that a little bit more accurate. Okay, I think I was doing better with the character I didn't know. So he's got... Okay, got that. Battle Monsters is a janky fighting game. Saturn. Okay, cool. Let's check that next. Let's check that. Have I got it? Oh, see the sound's gone again. See the sound? It's gone. It's gone on this. Yeah, I don't think it's crashed. I think I paused it because I've got a 2-button combo. Oof. Okay, let it run. Yeah, the sound's gone funky, man. Let's see if I've got it in this folder. No, I haven't got the Battle Monsters game. But you know what? This is an interesting game. Asuka 120%. Dual RAM can be digital I/O. I think dual RAM by default is only digital. There's no. So I haven't got a VGA out on this, so it's only, I can only output to HDMI, but I only use HDMI, so it's kind of good for me. Well, what we got, guys, we've got roughly about 15 minutes left on this stream, so I do thank everyone that joined, whether it was late at night or even early in the morning, earlier than it is in the morning for me in the US of A. So okay, let's go deathmatch mode, right? So it's Asuka versus Kathy. Okay. Interesting. Right, at this moment I'm just mashing buttons now. Ooh, haha, nice, good special there. Again, interesting game, right? Interesting fight. Thanks to Phila, he kind of points me out to some unusual games out there. What's another weird game? Oh, this is a weird game. Is it going to load there? It goes. Is it going to load Batman? Hopefully it loads Batman. I did pick Batman. Batman offers analog board with dual RAM. Okay, cool. Also, okay. So retro. So Adrian. So the analog boards with dual RAM. Does that only put out analog then? It doesn't put out digital. Is that the compromise then? You can only put it out via analog. You can only have one, or can you have analog and digital out with dual RAM via Retro Castle? I've never really used any Retro Castle stuff before. I have heard good things about it though. I've heard some really good things from people that I trust saying that they've had their cases or they've had some of their accessories and whatnot, and they've been happy with it for the whole part. So there's out of all the vendors out there, in my opinion, the ones that I've heard that have the best reputation from people that I personally know are obviously MiSTer Add-ons. They're a sponsor and I have a bias towards them as well. But putting aside the bias, MiSTer Add-ons, great customer service. Oh, okay, could be Batman and Robin. I'm gonna go Batman. No one picks Robin. So MiSTer Add-ons. Then you've got MiSTerFPGA.co.uk. I've personally used them for my MiSTer, my first MiSTer before I started covering it on the channel. That's where I got all the accessories from, everything bar the DE10 Nano. Plus the guy Nat, when I've spoken to him, he's very polite and very nice. As well as that Retro Castle, I've heard great things about. And obviously Takyuron, I've heard awesome things about as well. The QM Tech clone, I've heard great stuff about. Any other sellers that are out there, I personally don't really know anyone that's bought stuff from them and said like it's been amazing. I'm not saying that other sellers out there are not great, I don't know, but the ones that I've dealt with or ones that personal friends of mine have dealt with have been MiSTer Add-ons, have been MiSTerFPGA.co.uk, and have been Retro Castle, and people have been very, very happy with the service and the items they received. So I know there's other sellers out there, but again, I can't really like vouch for them or say anything there because I honestly don't know. And you know, one of the things I really like about MiSTer Add-ons as being my sponsor, you know, it's not like I'm exclusive to him or anything. I can push whatever I want. So if I like something his competition is doing, I can plug it to my heart's content because I like it. I believe in the product. I like that product, and it doesn't matter. Not once, you know, has he ever batted an eyelid or said, oh, you know, I don't like you doing this or like doing that. When it's Mr. anything in the MiSTer universe, it doesn't matter what it is, you know, and that's really, really cool because that shows the level-headed approach of, you know, you've got your business, you're running your business, and other people, there's going to be competitors in there. You know, what makes you better than everyone else in a market that is getting more and more competitive? People really like MiSTer Add-ons, man. Their customer service is next level. Even before I was a customer, you know, any interactions I had with a guy was just before he was my sponsor, the interactions were superb. And you know, the sponsorship deal I have with him is only for the Saturday news video, guys, right? So what you're seeing here, I've marked this stream as a sponsored stream and I'm giving MiSTer Add-ons a plug. That's just a free plug that I'm giving him. You know why? Because he's just such a damn nice guy. You know, he doesn't, there's no issues. You know, we agree on the terms of the sponsorship deal for the year, and that's it. He never pesters me, asks for anything again. I tell him, I say, look, if you've got a new product, tell me, dude. I'll plug it on the channel. You know, your segment on the Saturday video, I'll say, look, you know, this is a new product from MiSTer Add-ons. Never ever even takes me up on that. So that's why when someone's so good and there's just very, very good behavior there, I just want to plug in more. Same as Free Play City. I don't have to give them this plug in the stream now, but I reached out to them and I said, look, I can give you like a visual banner on every Saturday. What do you guys think? You know, I just want free admission. You know, I'm not going to abuse it. I'm not going to come that much. If I come with me and a couple of friends, give me free admission and I'll give you a plug in. You know, they've agreed to that. And for that, I was like, okay, when I do a stream today, I want to plug Free Play City and I want to plug MiSTer Add-ons as well because, you know, they're good people. They're good people. You know, when someone's good to you, you want to be good back, right? And generally nice. And I know the guys at Free Play City. I know some of the management behind it, and I've known them for a period of years. Even the owner of the complex, I know the guy very nice people. So I thought, let me you know, use the channel where, because I do mention them, I thought let me plug it and get myself some free admission, and I will, and that's all it is. I'm not getting any money out of it. It just means when I go arcade and I take my boys there to play the light gun games, I'm not bearing the cost, because if I take me and my two boys there, it's going to cost me £45. If I take them there once a month, it's not going to cost me anything. You know, if a friend of mine comes over, I can take him over there, and hopefully this will be a healthy relationship. And I really hope this gives the arcade a plug, because I love arcades, man. They're great places, and they're great places especially for tournaments. If you want to, like, I know they've got like the dance, the rhythm games there. I'm mainly interested in the FGC, the fighting game tournament. So when they have like a Super Turbo, Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo tournament, when they have a First Strike tournament on there, guys, it's epic, man. Not that I compete or go, but I have been around there, and they are fun, and it's nice to see old friends as well, because whenever there's a tournament, I'll see some old friends of mine that'll turn up there and it'll be like, hey, long time no see, and I'll go up there and play some casual stuff, you know. So what's this Deep Fear? I think this is like a Resident Evil type of game. Yeah, man. Batman. Wow, I had this on DOS Beta. Wow, yeah, that Batman game is trippy for sure, man. So this is Deep Fear. Oh, what we got like 10 minutes left, guys, before you know, before, oh, this okay, I've ran the wrong disc. Amazing. All right, what the hell is double switch? Oh, double switch disc 1. Yeah, Batman feels very psychedelic. I'll tell you a really good version of a Batman game, and you guys should try it out. You know, if you've got a pen and paper, your phone handy, take note of it. Try Batman on the PC Engine. It's like Pac-Man, but with Batman. It's a maze. You fire your batarangs, and you get to fight mimes. Apparently no one likes mimes. I don't know why. I've never had anything against them, but I remember watching TV shows and people like, we hate mimes. But yeah, you get to beat mimes in there if you're one of the mime haters out there. Batman on the PC Engine is wicked. I had the cartridge, and yeah, it wasn't the Batman game I was expecting, but it was a Batman game I liked nonetheless. I thought it played really well. But yeah, definitely a Batman game worth checking out. The one on the Saturn is just pure jank, man. Hey, we got an FMV game.
My name is Eddie. I need your help.
Hold on.
This is my building. And since the neighborhood really sucks, I've built all these traps and security systems to protect the people who live here. The problem is some bonehead locked me in the basement and cut off my controls. Except they forgot about the phone lines, which is how I got you in. Now you can protect the tenants.
Okay, so this is interesting, right? Is this like Night Trap or Five Nights at Freddy's? Not really my thing. But it's kind of interesting seeing this thing, right? What is Edgar saying?
Now this is the lobby.
David Gill, honestly, I can't answer that question. I have no idea. No idea about that. Questions like that, if you're over on the MiSTer FPGA Discord, they've got like a dedicated Saturn channel, and yeah, you can ask any questions out there. There's a lot of very knowledgeable people up there. So, all right, I've had enough of Edgar and this guy that's searching around with his metal detector. Let's try and run something. Because I've got a 2-button combo, it always just pauses it, man. Let's try and run something. Okay, I've got no idea what this is. Neketsu Oyoki. Oh yeah, Sniper Mike, man. It's this terrible acting that makes these games so good. You know, where something is so bad, it does a full circle, it comes around, and it ends up being freaking awesome. It's definitely a case of that over here. So, games. And it's really weird when I don't see that progress bar come up, when that just kind of disappears at some point. Guys, we're going to be wrapping up soon. I do appreciate everyone that has stopped by. I really appreciate it. Yeah, okay. Let's try and run this again. I know some games I've got don't work. There's issues with some, and I should really tidy it up and get rid of the ones that don't necessarily work. So let's have a look. No, okay, let's run something else. Do you know what? Let me just give it a reset. I like giving it a reset once in a while. And the other thing about doing a reset is I really like looking at the Raditz Nice wallpaper. Man, that's Haunted Castle. That's like one of the worst Castlevania games out there, but it's so bad. It's kind of funnish to play. But I'll tell you what's really good is I really enjoyed the, you know, if you buy the new DS collection, I think it's called the Dominus collection on, I've got it for the bloody Switch and and Steam. But yeah, so It's got a new version of the Haunted Castle on there, and it is damn good, man. It's really, really good. Really, really good. So let's try and find something. Well, what's Grid Runner? Let's go Grid Runner. Don't know what that is. PCN needs to fill his wife's shoes with 20. Yeah, no, she's got it behind the phone, man. Get it behind the phone. That's one thing with women, man. If they don't have a handbag with them, it's like they've got no pockets. I'm like, I'll make sure whatever I wear has pockets, man. I need my pockets to carry stuff, but it's like there's no pockets. And I think that's quite a normal thing with women. Like a lot of their clothes generally aren't, they're not like utilities, you know. Personally, I want all my clothes to be like the Batman utility belt. I want like a rope in there, so if I need to walk sideways up a building, I can do that, you know. Wow, that's quite the eyeball, man. Very, very metal. Virgin Interactive. So they published a good amount of games back in the day. This looks like One Ring to rule them all. Yeah, no, wife will be happy. We'll be going to a restaurant for lunch. So what it is, it's a bit difficult to get out sometimes because, you know, our mum's staying with us at the moment, or my mum, and what happens is over the course of the weekend we have to arrange care for her, but her brother's taking her over for a few hours, which means I can take the family out. I'll take the mum out with me to the family sometimes, but it's not, yeah, you know, she doesn't always like going out or doesn't always respond well to it. So her brother will take her. She'll be happy with her brother. It means I can take the wife out. You know, got to give the wife the duty. She works hard. There's a lot she deals with. Okay, I don't know what this is. First time I'm looking at it, but it's an interesting game. Okay, so do I attack this? Oh, I've got a... So guys, Batman on the PC Engine that I was mentioning is similar to this. How many hits is this damn robot? Okay, telling me to go there. Okay, let's run something else so we can see some games. I don't know what this Hanasha the Spark is, but we can check that out. Wicked. Wow, 1 hour 55 minutes. Time flies when we do these streams, man. We're having a lot of fun. And guys, you know, wherever you are in the world, I really do hope you're having a good Sunday. Whether my buddy from over in Scotland that finished the night shift, I'm pretty sure he'll be asleep by now. But yeah, awesome that you're watching that after your night shift. Wherever you are in the world, whether you're starting today, the day, whether you're ending the day, guys, just be cool, be good to one another, man. It's Sunday. I hope everyone has like a great, relaxing Sunday. I know it used to be Sunday was always known as a day of relaxation. I know that's not the case now. We live in a 24/7 world now, you know, where things are always happening and dynamics have changed. I remember when I was young, Sunday you could go sleep in the middle of the road, not a single car would pass. You know, or exaggeration, maybe a couple of cars would pass, but on Christmas Day, not a single car would pass. It was just absolutely dead. Those days are long gone. Okay, love that we're playing a weird Japanese game here on the finish. So yeah, but I do hope everyone's having a good day, man, and you know, spending it with your loved ones. You know, spend time with your loved ones. We don't know how much time we have with the people we love, you know. So, you know, I like you guys, and it's fun spending time with you. But I am enjoying, you know, spending time with my family later on today. It's just like a Bomberman game. Okay. Oh, okay, it's a few different shots, right? Okay. Okay, weird game. Okay. Weird game, man. Weird game. I like picking the random games. It's the first time I've ran this. I don't think I've seen this game before. But I'm getting like Bomberman vibes of it. Don't know what this is, but let's run with it, man. Yeah, man. Do you know what the videos that I do sometimes when she's kipping? I'm like, hey guys, guess what? Like, we've had this come out. Like, this so funny, man. She's to be honest, she's fast asleep by then. So I've kind of gotten away with it for a bit without disturbing her. But guys, you know, if I disappear suddenly, then yeah, she might have caught me. I mean, I've got a different setup. I can take it downstairs, but the mic I've got with that isn't as good. I'm too lazy. I should just take this mic and use it with the mobile setup. But with a mobile setup, I'm using like a 10-inch screen and an 8-inch screen instead of like a 14-inch screen and a whatever this other screen is, 24 inches or whatever. So I'm very limited with the real estate I have. It's okay for doing streams to some extent. Once they're up and running, they're fine. Okay, it's a puzzle game. Interesting. Okay, I've got like Puyo Puyo type of thing, right? I'm colorblind, so again, interesting. Let's go with something. Let's try and go with one final game because we have hit 11 now. Okay, we have hit 11. Let's run. I want to put a game that I don't often, because I always end up repeating the same games, and I don't want to do that. Let's go into let's get into the CHD folder and see if there's anything in here that, especially if I don't recognize it. There's a new Croc game coming out, by the way. I know Aerial Aces made a toy for that, so big shout out to him. Okay, let's go Decathlete, and hopefully this has a good intro mode. Again, a big shout out to Philae. He's always introducing me to these games, and Decathlete is good. It's a decathlon game, but it's an arcade game, and Sega made some good ones like that. And this one here, honestly, is no exception. So hopefully I'll run to it. Hopefully it will run and it will give us a good intro mode, because yeah, we all kind of like decathlon games at some point. The great thing about the MiSTer is that I've been able to explore yeah, that's exactly, yeah, David. Yeah, the Saturn, I've been able to, yeah, I've been exploring that library, man. Absolutely love it. What a great system, man. I generally like the 2D arcade games on here, but I'm not limited to that. You know, there's stuff like Die Hard, this one here, Decathlete. If you haven't tried this, try this out, man. Look at it. Look how. So there's some 3D stuff that's aged well. This has aged really, really well. I like the look. I like the aesthetic that this has got. I think this is a great game. And Sega made some good arcade sports games, and this is definitely one of them. So I think, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to kind of wrap it up on this note. But yeah, man, going, you know, on the Saturn, yeah, I owned one, but I didn't really own one. Like, so when I had my shop, someone traded one in, and I didn't know how to get it up and running, and I ended up selling it quite quickly. But I did bring it home at one point. So from a technical standpoint, yes, I owned one, but really I didn't own one. I only ever really played it once in advanced consoles in central London, and I played Panzer Dragoon, and I was blown away by the tech at the time. But yeah, it definitely is the MiSTer, and I feel that's one of the most important things about the MiSTer, and that's why I always say, guys, MiSTer is king, man. MiSTer is king. Until another king comes, long live the damn king. There are so many systems that I've played on this, stuff like the X68000, the Sega Saturn, stuff like the 32X, stuff that I would not have ever played before. Even stuff like the Wonder Swan, you know, stuff that I became more familiar with because I've tested it out on here. And also forgotten systems like the Amiga, stuff that I had when I was young and I never played for decades and decades. It was great getting that stuff. Well, C64 I haven't really touched too much. I do want to dive into that at some point, but I've learned, like, I've played the MSX system. There's a whole bunch of really good systems on there, and not just the MiSTer, even the Analog Pocket, even the ports that we got to the Analog Pocket gave me the ability to kind of play those when you know, when in bed, when relaxing a bit and whatnot. So FPGA gaming is fantastic, guys, and hopefully it will get better. We will get more powerful cores. But honestly, guys, even if we don't get another core in the MiSTer, and my MiSTer was, I had to go to a desert island and I had to take this MiSTer that I was running everything on today, guys, I'll be happy. It's got more games that I could ever play for the rest of my life. It's got classics on there that I'd like to revisit, stuff like The Legend of Zelda, The Minish Cap. So yeah, man, FPGA gaming is wicked. MiSTer is the damn king. And yeah, the Sega Saturn core is wicked. Like, I don't have the hardware, so from someone that's just playing games from that perspective, it's fantastic. If there's anything that's not 100% accurate to it, it's not something that I notice. There's not, like, the input latency is just so responsive compared to like an emulator. So for me, this is bang on. And the dual RAM that's got rid of the slowdown in the fighting games, well, it's just absolutely fantastic. So guys, it's amazing. If you do want to try out the Sega Saturn core, head over to the MiSTer FPGA Discord, go over to Unstable Nightly's channel, download the latest MiSTer binary, which is the latest MiSTer operating system, add that to the root of your micro SD card, add the latest core to the consoles folder, and guys, you are good, you are golden. You can try this stuff out. Just want to give a shout out to SRG320, the developer of this core. Their Patreon's up on screen now on the top right if you want to support their work. It will be highly appreciated, no doubt, by the developer. Also want to give a shout out to Free Play City, someone who I'll be featuring on the channel, and I'll be plugging them on the channel because they're my local arcade, and they're the best arcade in London. They're an amazing place, amazing experience, full of amazing people and amazing hardware. And lastly, Mr. Addons, man, just an honor to have him as a sponsor of the weekly news show, and an honor to do some random streams where I can mention how awesome his business and services are. But that's it, guys. Have a wicked awesome Sunday. I'll see you guys around, man. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.